Hey guys, it's Miss Black with another art tutorial. This one is technically for younger grades. However, this is fun for anyone. Everyone I've ever talked to about this process has really enjoyed it. And this is all just about color mixing and understanding primary colors and how they create other colors. What you're going to need for this is something to color with. You could use anything you have. You could use colored pencils. You could use crayons. You could use watercolor paints or any other type of paint that you have. Maybe if you have poster paint at home, anything that you have lying around. And then another thing you're going to need is a pen. And I would say a ballpoint pen would work really well. I'm just going to use, just like a regular pen here. And that's basically all you're going to do. The very first part of this process is just playing with color. And actually, I'm going to be using some watercolors. So I'm going to show you the colors that you will need today. All you're going to need are the primary colors, which are yellow, red, and blue. So I'm going to grab those colors. And a good blue right here. Okay, so we're just using those today. If you would like to mix other colors that you have, you're welcome to try that. But for this one, I'm just going to be using these. And if you're using paint, obviously you're going to need a brush and some water. So what I want you to do first, and this is really just fun and free, is you're just going to paint some of these colors down. You're going to put them, also I think I maybe didn't mention you're going to need a piece of paper. I've got just a piece of paper here. What you're going to do first is you're going to take some of these colors and you're just going, if you're using watercolor, you need to activate it by getting your brush wet. And then all you do is you just paint just a regular shape. You could do a circular shape. You could do really any shape you want. And you'll just paint that anywhere on the paper. Okay. And then you'll maybe switch colors. Make sure you've cleaned your brush so that you don't get your paint dirty if you're using paint. If not, if you're just using, maybe you're using markers, maybe you're using crayons, really all you're going to do is you're just going to lay that color down. And if you're using colored pencils or crayons, you can just sort of scribble it down. I'm just going to paint it on here. Just random shapes. They don't have to be circles. They can just look like blobs. Okay, and here's blue. And this is kind of where the magic happens after you paint all these blobs, because you're going to choose another one of these colors and you're going to mix it with that color. But first, make sure you've got all your sort of blobs down. And you want to fill your paper with these different color samples. In the art world, these are actually called swatches. Maybe another blue. Some more red maybe. Maybe another yellow. It's kind of even now. You don't have to do as many as I've done. You could do fewer or you could do more. It's up to you. It's up to the artist. Okay, so I'm going to kind of stop there. And I've got my paper full of different blobs or different swatches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paints and I'm going to choose one on here to mix it with. So on top of this one, I'm going to choose another primary color. And if you don't know what the color turns into, you will find out today. So I'll take blue for this one, perhaps. And I'm going to paint on top of the red. And it's going to mix with it and create a new color. And that color is purple. You can see the purple here. And if you're using paint, you could even take that color. Maybe you have like a whole lot of extra inside your blob there. You could take it and paint it somewhere else. So this is a really deep sort of purple. You could also decide you want more red in that color. Make it a more reddish purple. And it will make that. Okay, so we got two different types of purple. If you mix a primary color with a secondary color, which purple is a secondary color and red is a primary color, so if you mix purple and red together, that makes an intermediate color, or another word for it is tertiary color. So you could do that if you would like. Let's see what yellow and blue make. And if you've tried this already, you're probably yelling at the screen already knowing what it is. But this is making a really nice green right here. Okay, and I got some extra paint on my brush, so I'm just going to use this blob of paint on my brush and paint another swatch or another blob. And really, this is just kind of fun as its own project. So if you just want to stick with doing this, more power to you. Okay, let's see what yellow and red make. So I'm going to grab some yellow. And I'll put this on my red here. Probably already know, but this makes orange, and this is a really bright orange. You see that? Okay, making some more blobs. Let's try adding red to blue, but then adding more blue this time, because we're basically making the same color there. But let's try adding blue to it to make that tertiary or intermediate color. So it's more of a violet, it looks like. Let's take that, move it over here. It's a nice purple. Maybe even take some more of that. Okay, let's try and make another tertiary color. So maybe I'm going to add yellow to my green, because when I mix primary with secondary, it makes that tertiary color. So I'll make some yellow green. That's a cool bright green. Let's make some blue green. So grab some more yellow, go on another one of these, making that green color. But I'll put blue on top of it and see that really cool looking turquoise color that everybody's talking about. There it is. Seems to me that everybody loves this color, especially lately for some reason. Maybe even add a little more blue. That's that cool sea green color. I like this color. I'm going to add it to maybe over here for another swatch. Okay. And then also, if you want just some colors that are just the primary color, like I'm going to keep some of these yellows. You can leave some of them or paint more. Or if you want to make some of your primary colors a deeper color, you just add another layer to it if you're using paint. If you're using crayon or colored pencil, it's the same thing. You're just going to add another layer of that, whatever you're using. Okay, I've got, I think, yeah, I want to do this to some of my blues. Maybe this one. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe some, oh. got some extra paint, I might as well use it, make some more little blobs. Completely fill my paper with these blobs. Make them more orange. And it's really just so fun to just make colors from the colors that you have. Okay, so here I'm going to add orange to one of these yellows. Make a really warm sunset color. And that's really cool, I think, next to the sea foam green color. Okay, maybe I'll make another purple. Add some blue. And add that to red. It's a really nice violet color there. Maybe I'll add another swatch of that over here. Add a tad bit of red more to that. That's really cool. Okay, so I'm going to call it good there. If you want to keep painting these, you could do layers upon layers. So you could let this dry if you're using paint and then paint more layers of swatches on top of that. And it's cool if you're using watercolor because the layers that are underneath are going to still kind of show through on the layers that you would paint on top of it. I think the same thing happens with colored pencils. I'm not sure, I've never really tested this out with crayons, but you could try that out. It's really fun to layer colors. So you could try those things. But what we're going to do now is just sort of wait for these paints to dry. And then I will talk to you guys about the next thing, which is going to be using that pencil or that pen. If you don't have a pen, you have a pencil. Pencil will work for this part of the process too. So I'm going to set my paints aside, let this dry, and I will see you guys again in part 2, because this is going to take a minute to dry.